When solving problems, dig at the root instead of hacking at the leaves. Anthony D'Angelo. As our ideas spread and get taken more seriously, we need to learn the skill to transition from simply preaching our ideas to structuring and presenting them like a pro. So how do we build a business case for ideas so that whenever we talk about them, people look at us and have nothing to refute us on? And that's exactly what we're covering on this week's episode of MasterTalk. Hi everyone, Brendan here from MasterTalk, on your go-to channel to mastering your talk. And today, I'm going to teach you how to build a rock-solid business case for your ideas. So let's get cooking. Number one, present similar ideas in your space and why they worked or didn't work to help prove out your ideas. When you think about strategy, it's not about reinventing the wheel, but rather saying, how do we make the wheel spin faster? So when we present a business case, the best way to approach it is by looking at the past and saying, this is what already exists today. And here's the thought process and the logic behind why my new and fresh ideas need to exist in the world. So a great example of this is my own YouTube channel, MasterTalk. People were making videos about communication long before I was, but there's a couple of pieces that were missing in their logic. Number one is practicality. Whenever I share an idea, I want to make sure that it's so simple to understand that anybody who's listening to this can implement it. Number two is generosity. I want to make sure to share 100% or at least 99% of all of my information for free, so that even if somebody can't afford me as a coach, they can at least learn from me in a way that anyone in the world can. That's number two. And number three is the younger generation, where when I was creating MasterTalk, my thought was really people who were younger than me, because there wasn't really anybody in the market who was in their 20s who had the level of expertise I did around public speaking and communication. Notice what I'm doing here, team. When I start explaining what already exists, okay, look at this YouTube channel, it has 300,000 subscribers and here's what's wrong with it, but here's my channel and why it's better. I'm using the past to help me better explain why there's a use case behind my ideas today. And this helps boost my credibility and structure my ideas effectively, because somebody who's listening to my ideas the first time doesn't have this background, doesn't understand the context, and more importantly, isn't in love with my idea as much as I am or yours. And that's really the power of using the past to better explain the future. Number two, clearly explain how implementing your ideas will help change the world. Here's a thought experiment for you. I want all of you to reflect on the following question. How would the world change if every single human being implemented your ideas in the world? Imagine how that world would be different. I got this prompt from Nicole Gibson, who's the founder of Love Out Loud. She calls this what if questions. What if the world fell in love is a question that she loves to ask other people. And what this does is it creates an expansion, an expanding belief in what we think is possible with our ideas and how it can impact other people. For me, it's what if everyone had the courage to share their ideas with the world? What if everyone had the courage to share their story? Notice how these what ifs help people imagine a possibility that is so endless that people want to get enrolled into your ideas. And that's where the mistake comes, my friends. The mistake is most of us, when we ask people, change makers, hey, how would the world change if people implemented your ideas? People usually respond with, yeah, like people would be great. People would feel great. People would be great. And notice how that lack of detail doesn't excite us, doesn't make us want to help that person achieve their dream. And that's why I encourage all of you that if you want to build an excellent business case for your ideas, don't just focus on the facts, focus on the vision. Don't just end your presentation with, let's summarize today. No. I want you to end the presentation by helping us imagine a future with your ideas implemented in them so that everyone joins your cause and your movement. And finally, number 3, explain in detail why you, yes, you, are the perfect person to bring these ideas to life. So you've explained the business case, you've compared past ideas, you've compelled me to a brighter future. Why should it be you? Why are you the beacon of light that people should follow? This is where you talk about your unique gifts, your passion, why you're the perfect person for the job. And you can do this through a multitude of ways. Mark Lohr is a great example of this, where whenever he gives a keynote, he says, I took all of my life savings and poured it into this company. And that got investors really excited about investing in Mark because they saw this guy and they said, wow, okay, this guy is willing to bet the farm on making this dream a reality. I need to bet on him. But it doesn't always need to be about money either. It could be about qualifications, a personal obsession or fascination that you have to this idea, or it could simply be you studied in that field, you've worked in it for a lot of years, and you have experience in that problem. But the key is really to sell you. Why are you the right person that people should follow and not somebody else who has a similar idea to you? And for me, it wasn't about having a PhD in communication. It was about saying, look, I'm the only person in my early 20s, I'm not in my early 20s anymore, but at the time when I started MasterTalk, to say, hey, if you're 15 years old, I'm probably the person you want to follow because you're not going to relate to the 60-year-old PhD around communication. You want to learn from me. So because of that, I was able to gain traction and focus my audience on the people I was actually called to serve. And then, of course, I have a huge passion with communication, but I don't want to make this about me because this video is about you. I want you to take the time to write down what are your gifts? What are your talents? What are your passions? Why should we bet on you? You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to sell something about you. What's one trait, one attribute that makes people go, you know what? This person really understands what's in the industry, and I want to bet on that person. And that's really the key to being successful and present a bulletproof business case. At the end of the day, team, a business case is a work in progress. When I started MasterTalk, I didn't have a business case. I was just sitting on a couch making videos for fun. But as I continued taking action, my ideas evolved, and so did my business case. I started pouring a little bit more money into it. I gained more expertise over time. I started helping a lot more people through coaching services and through my videos. And slowly over time, I became the person that people wanted to bet on for this skill. Think about that in your case. You need to have a bias for action. Nothing gets done without action. As you're taking that, you'll start to figure out, okay, this is what other people have done in the past. I start doing a little bit more research, and now I can see the vision for what I'm doing. So over time, your business case will evolve, but the most important thing is to get started. Start before you're ready is really the key idea from today's video. As always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of MasterTalk, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well to see more videos like this. And I encourage all of you listening to this to come to my free communication workshop over Zoom that I do every 2 weeks. If you want to register for it, the link is in the description. I can't wait to see you there. And of course, if you know one person that is really bad at presenting business cases, be sure to send them this video so that they'll be one step closer to making their business a reality. See you next time, everyone.